Hello and welcome to my latest ThredUp video. My name is Trisha. I am a part-time seller on eBay, Poshmark, and ThredUp. And it's been a while since I've gone through my spreadsheet and I've made some updates to it, and I thought it was time to do another video just to give a recap and kind of show the progress of what's been going on the sales and the items that I have been sending in, and give an update on the information I'm tracking on the spreadsheet that I've created to keep track of what I send to ThredUp, what they accept, and what has sold. So I will start off with the first bag, which up from line 2 here through line 25 is the first bag, and I apologize for the small size of the spreadsheet. I'll try to kind of hover over these areas for a while, so if you want to click and enlarge on the screen, hopefully you'll be able to do that. But I've been keeping track of, I sent in 24 items in my first bag. They accepted 20 of them. I shipped it on the 6th of January. They received it on the 10th of January. They processed it on the 30th of January. So you can see it took them quite a while. It takes, and for things I've sent in now, it's taking almost over a month for them to process things. So if you're going to start sending to ThredUp, or you do send to ThredUp, please keep that in mind, that it does take a month or longer to process your items. I have marked here which ones that they did not accept and that they actually did return to me. I did pay the $10.99 to have those items shipped back to me. And then I'm keeping track of the price that ThredUp is assigning to it, what payout percentage that is, and then what price I adjusted the price to, which is representative of 80% of the retail price. So if an item is $100, you are able to price at $79.99 as your maximum. The payout percentage, obviously the higher the item here, the greater the payout percentage, and then the lower the value of the item, the lower the payout percentage is. Whether it's a 60 or 90 day, again, depending on the designer of the item. I'm also keeping track of what date the item sold, what price it's sold at, what that payout percentage is, and in this column the return date is if it's sent to an outside consumer. Somebody goes into ThredUp, purchases it, they have a return date that gets shown on our screens as the date that represents their processing time to ship, the date it actually ships, the date it was delivered, and then 2 weeks after the date it was delivered that the customer has to return the item. So again, you're looking at another 3 to 4 weeks before you're getting paid out for that item. So do keep that in mind. Again, that you're probably looking at, if an item sells right away, you're still probably looking at 2 months before you're actually going to get paid for that item, from the processing time to the delivery return time. So I am keeping track of that date, and then what date you get paid, which in this first example here, you can see I got paid the next day, and then what that amount was. I did redo my cost of goods, and what I decided to do was to do a cost average for the entire year. So I pretty much went through all of my inventory, all my receipts, which items I bought at thrift stores, which items I had no cost for, either they were mine or they were given to me. or I acquired them for no additional cost to me, plus items that I purchased at yard sales, rummage sales, all of those types of things, which have a lower cost typically than the thrift stores do. And so I kind of went through all those items, everything I have in my inventory, and did an annual cost average, which came out to like $2.25 plus like another half cent. Well, 2.25 is a lot easier to figure out than 2.26, so I just stuck with 2.25 instead of the rounding up, just to make it easier for my brain. And so what I've done is I've just gone through and done cost of goods at 2.25 for pretty much everything, because it was just getting too hard to figure out which ones I bought at that thrift store, which ones were no cost, which ones I bought at, rummage sales, and it was just getting too confusing. And I know some of the other resellers do kind of an annual cost average, and I thought, in the long run, it's just probably easier, and it's easier on my brain to do that. And so when I do my profit column, which is column W here at the very end, I do take that into consideration and subtract the 225 from that. So you can see on here, some items are selling okay from the first bag. Some items I probably would not send in again, just because of the low payout cost. Like this skirt here, this Séjour skirt, which was a very nice skirt. I was able to, they originally had it priced at $12.99. I was able to raise it up to $35.99, which it did sell at. It sold in a goodie box, but my payout was only $8.28. Now that's not horrible, considering I don't have to do anything to the item. I don't have to photograph it. I don't have to store it. I don't have to list it. I don't have to mail it out. I don't have to do any of that. I just send it in and get $8.28. That's not horrible. That's probably what I'm going to look at as probably like the absolute low end. And what I do now is I go into ThredUp, and I'm trying to look at what they set as the retail price for items, and try to then establish, like, if items really need to be like $50 or higher that they set as the retail price, in order for you to be able to set your 80% price at maybe somewhere around $35.99 in order to get an $8.28 payout. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And a lot of these items I have been showing in a little more detail in my What Sold videos. So if you're interested in seeing more of the week to week and what the items look like, you can definitely check out there. I do have a link to my ThredUp store, because they do separate all of the sellers. And so you kind of have your own little closet within ThredUp. The only thing that doesn't show in there are items that go to the goodie box, which are items that ThredUp themselves purchase in order to send in the goodie boxes that they send to their clients. So those items don't show up as sold. All of these other items do show up in my store right now with the little sold across it. So you can see some of the items, like these two right here, these two Nike athletic type outfits. They are still in the window of return, because today is the 18th of March. And so these ones has till the 21st to return it. This one has till the 30th. So then if they don't get returned, I will then get paid the day after. And then we can see up here, some of the items did sell for higher cost. This one sold, this ink sweater sold for $62.99, so my percentage was higher. So my payout was $19. And again, this denim jacket, very heavily embroidered denim jacket, sold for $58.99, and so my payout was 19. Is that right? That doesn't look right. Now that I'm looking at that, maybe I got those numbers mixed up. I'm gonna have to double check that now that I see them there. But trying to keep track of everything is a little crazy with the spreadsheet. But I'm definitely, yeah, because the percentage is higher, the sell price is higher, the percentage should be higher. Anyway, I'm gonna double check that. Uh, so going down to the next box here that I sent in, which I sent in on January 11th. Oh, one thing I want to mention, since today is the 18th, I have about 12 or 13 days before, let me go back up here, before the rest of these items expire. And I have been kind of at certain increments adjusting the price on those, kind of lowering the price a little bit on some of these items to see if they will sell. So I have still about 12 days, and so then I will, on the items that are 60 days. And so I'll go through in about another 2 weeks, hopefully, and do another update to the spreadsheet and talk about those items that didn't sell. But on my next box, here we have January 11th was the date I sent it in. I sent in 29 items. They accepted 26 of them. And going through the information on the spreadsheet, again, very similar with what items sold, which ones sold to goodie boxes, and then which items here, those are my 3 returned items, and then what date my payouts were, and how much I got paid. One of the great things I ended up finding at a thrift store was a new with tags Tory Burch pair of jeans that were sold like instantly. As soon as they went live, someone saw them and had been following kind of that little grace period that ThredUp has, where I think they can see them, but they're not quite active yet. And as soon as these went active, somebody snatched them up. And so I was able to list them for $147.99. And this is why it's really important to mark up your prices. ThredUp originally had them for $30.99, which would have been a steal considering they were new with tags. I was able to mark them up to the 80% of the retail price, which was $147.99, and that is what they sold at. And so my payout was $103, which was great. Again, I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to photograph it. I didn't have to do anything to it except fold them up, stick them in a bag, and send them to ThredUp. So that worked out really great. This one, which happens to be the last item that I sent in, which was a Willie Smith jacket, was actually purchased and then returned. So I do have a little Y here. It has not been repurchased yet, unfortunately. It's really cute. I hope it does go. It still has a couple weeks of being active. But that is pretty much it on there. I'll go down to the next bag that I sent in. So that had 23 items, 16 were accepted. And this one hasn't had as many sales as you can see. You know, again, it's just hit and miss depending on what people are looking for. I did have one sale that went to the goodie box. So those are nice because you're paid essentially right away. It can take, you know, anywhere from like 1 day to 5 days for them to process the goodie box. And so it can take, you know, up to, you know, maybe a week to get paid for an item in the goodie box, but it's much faster than when it goes to an outside customer. And then I have these 2 items that were sold, that this one I should be getting the money for. This should be processed today, which was a denim jacket. And so I should be getting my my payment for that. And in the next bag that I sent in. I had 29 items and 22 of them were accepted. And again, I'll hover over here, so if you would like to enlarge and take a closer look at things. And you can see, let's see, is this one? Yeah, this one has a good example here. So here is a Travel Smith jacket, which was an 18 petite. Had a lot of interest in this. It was frequently reserved in someone's cart, reserved in someone's cart. Because Travel Smith jackets are great because they have like 1,000 pockets in them. They're fantastic. And I wasn't worried picking it up that it was a petite size because it just means it's cut a little shorter. But it's still, I mean, the pockets and everything with these jackets are incredible. This one, I was able to start it off at $85.99, but I didn't have any takers for it. People were reserving it, but nobody was purchasing it. So I lowered the price. And then I think I lowered the price again. And so finally then at $64.99, someone did purchase it. So you can see that had someone bought it at $85.99, I would have had a 51% payout. But with purchasing at $64.99, I have a 39% payout. So that will get calculated once that gets delivered and that person has a chance to look at it and see if they want to return it. That one I believe is still in transit to the customer who purchased that. So I don't have a return date on that. And then there's some things like this. It was a new tag LuLaRoe skirt. I don't normally pick up LuLaRoe. However, it's really popular. And again, I've had really good luck with LuLaRoe skirts. This one was a new one that went to a customer. I had another one that was in a goodie bag or a goodie box purchase. And, you know, for my cost, you know, you get $5.66 and you don't have to do anything to it. So if it's in really good condition and you're just like have access to a bunch of those skirts at, you know, not a lot of cost, it's worth sending it in for $5. You know, if you sell enough of them, you know, you 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks and you don't really have to do anything to it. So, you know, keep that in mind. I don't really sell a lot of LuLaRoe, and so I don't have a lot of experience with it, but if I find it and can pick it up cheap, knowing that I'm going to get $5 out of it if I send it to ThredUp, that might be kind of a no-brainer for me, knowing I don't have to do anything to it. In the next box, this one has a little more activity. It had 32 items, 23 of them were accepted. And so this one had a little bigger variety of items because it did include a swimsuit, which was accepted. It had just a really interesting variety of skirts and jeans and tops and jackets. And some of the things, though, I definitely, in this one, I was kind of experimenting a little more with some brands. And this Daniel Rain, it was no, it was, which one am I looking at here? The Denim & Company, that was it. The Denim & Company top, it was new with tag. Unfortunately, it just didn't have a high enough retail price. And so I was only able to have it as a maximum of $17.99. Which made my payout only $2.43, which was unfortunate. I definitely would have liked to have gotten more and probably could have gotten more selling that on my own. However, I tried checking all of these on ThredUp to see what the start price could be to make sure it's high enough. That one I thought would be priced higher. It just wasn't. And then another one here, this one is and I'm probably not going to pronounce that right, Pleone. It was just a plain aqua colored, kind of athletic-y type top. It was sold in a goodie box, but the start price was I was only able to raise it up to $18.99. So I'd only had a $2.70 payout. So those were unfortunate, and definitely things I would not be sending back in again. However, like these J. Jill, again, if you can get them cheap enough, these were just a plain pair of tan pants. They were a good size 18. They went to a goodie box, and that was kind of a no-brainer. I do find that for goodie box prices that they typically ThredUp likes it to be no more than $51.99. I think I had one item that was $54.99, but typically I think $51.99 is the maximum they will go. I could be wrong. It's just kind of as I've seen me adjusting my prices and then which ones end up selling for goodie boxes. I think they have a certain internal threshold that they can go up to. So having that one drop the $3, I was able to then get it into a goodie box and get it to go. If I had kept it at $54.99, I'm not sure they would have purchased it for the goodie box. But I did have a lot of items, you can see here, go through the goodie box, which is great, again, because it's a much faster sale. You're paid a lot faster for those items. And then I still have 2 boxes. Oh no, this one, I don't know what's going on with it. This one has been processed. I've had no sales on it, no sales at all. So I'm going to have to go through and do some price adjusting on these. This one has been active since the 4th, so it's been 2 weeks. So it's probably time to go in and do some price adjusting on some things, because I do have I have a Maggie London dress, which is really neat. I have a white pair of Lucky Brand jeans. And so I have some really interesting things in here. They are getting a lot of likes, just not any takers yet. So I think I have to do a little price adjusting on those items. And then again, I have 2 bags that haven't been processed yet, and then I'm working on sending in some new things to them. And yeah, so I just thought it was time to kind of go through and update the spreadsheet. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions on ThredUp or anything, please let me know. Any comments are appreciated, and appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my channel to get more updates on ThredUp as I go through and learn more and more about selling on ThredUp. And I will be having a What Sold video. I'll probably be working on the info today to get that out tomorrow, which I will be showing in more detail some of the ThredUp items I have for sale. And if you're interested in some of the more information about these items that have already sold, please watch my previous What Sold videos where I go into a little more detail on those items. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.